Hi, this is Mrs. Tavares, and I'm going to show you the painless way of looking at this rubric so that you know what's expected of you. So, this is for informative writing for your elective artifact, which is a writing practice work sample. So, let's look at the rectangle again. Let's see if I can do this right. The type of writing you're doing is informative and expository. In other words, those mean the same. You're just explaining and reflecting. Okay, so we got that straight. So you're going to put your name, freshman year. What was that freshman year? This is all, you can figure that out. Okay. These are standards set by the state of Oregon for language arts. So a passing score is a score of, ta-da, 4. 4. Okay. Two squares around the 4. So each section is needing a score of 4 or higher. What happens if you get a lower score? It just means we'll just edit it until you're passing. But for right now, that's our goal. That's our aspiration. So um, for this grade, though, you should show at least that you've been trying. So let's go over some of the things for each section. Okay. So what I'm looking for ideas and content, I created a rubric that you'll see on Canvas. You'll see this hard copy. So all I'm looking for is, do you have enough? Do you have a claim that's clear? Okay, that's this. That's your general statement of what you're going to write about. Do you have supporting details? At least 3 of them. Each supporting detail should be its own paragraph. Next, are you organized? I'm going to circle that one in blue. So I'm looking for, do you have a beginning, a middle, and an end? There it is. Can I recognize that that's your introduction? Do you have a logical way or order of putting your paragraphs? And do you have paragraph breaks? Or is everything just one paragraph? Because it should be, your body paragraph should be at least 3, right? 1, 2, 3, one for each idea. You should have a conclusion too. And your conclusion is usually a summary of your introduction. Your introduction, again, I will say it again, it needs to have your claim, and you need to hook your reader with some kind of question, or maybe a little narrative, or just something that the reader can think about before they get into what it is you really want to say. Okay. You should also have some transitional words, like, for example. That's a transitional word. Or then, comma, right? A transitional word. And I have a whole page of transitional words to share with you, so you can use that as a guide. Now in purple, we're going to get into sentence fluency. Sentence fluency here. What does that mean? So what that means is, do you have fragments in there, meaning partial sentences that don't have a subject in it? And you may need some guidance in that if you're not used to completing a sentence. Okay, so that's a fragment. You may have always really long sentences, and they're all really long. So sometimes it's good to have a variety, some long and some short. Long meaning complex, short meaning just straight sentence. Sometimes you want to repeat short sentences for emphasis. Sometimes that will speak to the reader. So that's what sentence fluency is. Can I read it uh, fluently, easily as I read, or do I have to go back and say, wait, that doesn't sound right. Let me go back and reread. So, am I distracted when I read? So, sentence fluency is important. Lastly, I'm going to put this in orange. Okay, so convention. This is what most kids don't like. I don't like it either. But this is where I sit down with you at a writing conference and we really look at run on sentences. So if you have a complex sentence and you've written a lot of complex sentences that are not correct in punctuation, that's called a pattern of errors. So I will sit down with you and we will go through each of those long sentences and I'll show you where to put a comma, where to put a semicolon, and where to put a colon. We'll go over those rules, and you'll know eventually with practice how to do it all by yourself. And that's my goal. I don't use a red pen. I just use highlighters and I show what strengths you have as a writer. And then we work on one pattern and then you correct the next pattern of error. And then by the third try, you know it, you got it. So what are the pattern of errors? Do you know how to put periods? So that's what this means. End of sections means periods. Are they there? If you asked a question, is it a question mark? Conventions. Okay. So do you have control of these complex sentences? So are you using, in other words, are you using the commas in the right place? Or do you have a bunch of commas? And then you show that as a pattern of errors? We'll fix that. Capitalize your proper names, right? Names of places, names of schools, names of people, and also grammar. If you're writing in the past tense, then everything should be in the past tense. If you're writing in the present tense, your sentences should be in the present tense, be consistent. So that takes you reading it out loud to yourself, and it takes somebody, a peer, a friend, a writing partner, to read it, and then they can give you feedback. So really, a really good paper would be a 5, and that would mean that I don't even have to correct anything. If you got a 4, that's still passing. There may be a couple things that are incorrect, but I'm not marking you down for that because I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for accuracy and can you correct your own paper and go through the writing process. And that's it. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and email me or talk to me, okay? All right, that is it.